Alright everybody, who's tired of a bunch of wires hanging out your Deus too? That is one thing I do not like about it, and I got an idea to fix it. I'm not sure if it'll work yet. Y'all want to hang out with me and check it out? Let's do it. Here we go. Alright, as y'all know, the coil's wireless, right? So what happens is, once you put it on the water, it can't transmit the signal through water to get to the main pod. So what you end up having to do is put these wires next to the pod, and what it's doing is actually transmitting through the water into this wire, and then transmitting all the way up to your pod. So I said, well, I do not like all these wires running with. How can I do away with them? Well, you can't do totally away with them, but you can make things a little bit easier, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to try, and I think it's going to work. That signal will transfer through the water probably up to a couple inches, I'm thinking. I'm not an expert on that, but I'm thinking it'll probably go at least an inch or two. And if I can get wires close enough, it will transmit between wires. I'm going to do a couple relays in it where we don't have wires everywhere. Alright, I'm going to show you what I'm working on. Let's check it out. First thing, the coil. As you know, normally you would slide the piece on top of the coil right here, and it's picking the signal up through here, right? What I did, I actually bought some of the same wire that they use, and I'll put a link in the description below if this works, so y'all can try the same thing. But anyway, that thing pops on here, so it's transmitting through the water into that little piece here, and normally it would run all the way up to the pod, up to here on top, and that's where it would get the signal. So you got one transfer from here to here, and then from the top to the pod. What my idea is this. I made it so it transfers the signal over to here, where you're going to put your this in right here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to get this down here where you can see it. When I mount this in here, I'm going to mount this right in this area, so it's right next to this right here. So hopefully it will transfer between that to this. This isn't mounted yet, but I'm getting close. Now up here, I'm actually, and I'm using goop just to kind of hold it to the machinery, and you pull that right off, it's no big deal. But anyway, once that gets scooped there, I got another one on the pod right here that runs from the top of the pod to the edge right here. It's just scooped. It would come right off, peel right off, no problem. It's not doing anything to the unit itself. So I got it run here. So when this gets mounted here, it will be within an inch of that. So I'm hoping it will transfer to this wire, from this wire to this, underwater, when I have this thing totally underwater. And what this will do for me is I'll be able to pop this pod right off, no wires. I'll be able to pop my coil off like this right here, no wires, you won't see anything. And once I get these two pieces mounted flush and fixed, you won't even see that wire really, it'll be flush against here. So no wires will be hanging off this unit anywhere. Now just to kind of let you know what you have to do on these ends, you have to take and skin this back so the center wire, this is a shield on top of it, and there's another wire in the middle. And what you do is cut this shield off and then seal it. What I've been sealing it with, first I use plastic dip. I just dipped it in there to seal it. And then I use this right here on everything but the one on the pod. I did not do on that. I might have to redo that one maybe. But this is what's called a heat shrink, and they come all different sizes. And what you do is you put some heat to it, and you just cut a little piece off of it, and it will shrink up around the wire. Now, just kind of give you an idea right here. I'm going to, I'll give you a quick demo how this works, and hopefully between the other stuff and the other goop stuff, this thing will do. All right, let me get this. All right, this is like a little heat gun, and I want you to watch it right here. When I put a little heat on it, it'll start shrinking up. See it shrinking around that wire? So now it's sealed. It's sealing that wire up. And what you do is you roll this around as you're doing this. You can use a heat gun, a hair dryer, anything you get that produces heat, and it will just seal it right up. This right here, I just do it real quick, but you can see how it does work anyway. It seals up around the thing. But you heat it up, it'll go all the way down. But anyway, I just want to show you that I'll go ahead and cut a piece of this just to show you what you got to do with that. Stay tuned. Alright, first you got a plastic shield cable, then you got a real metal shield cable right here, and then you actually have the wire that's being transmitted into right there. So what you have to do is actually cut this back to the point that this wire here is exposed right here, before you seal it up so that it will transmit into this through the wire. This shield right here just protects it from all other frequencies in the area. I took a little pair of scissors and cut all this off right here, so there's nothing of that left. So you just got the plastic and this piece here. Then I sealed it all up. So that's what you have to do it. So we don't know if it works yet, but I got a feeling it might. So alright, let's go ahead and get this last one hooked up, and then we'll check it out. I want to tell y'all one thing. I drilled this hole. This is actually aluminum, I believe. I drilled a hole, so it's got sharp edges. So what you want to do is get a grommet. I think I used 5/16 on that. This is a little bit bigger one, but that's what it looks like right there. It's got a little sleeve around the edge of it, so when you put it in there, it fits all around there and keeps it from chafing this, to cutting it up. Alright, so what we're going to do now is go ahead and get this mounted in here right, and get the bottom mounted right, get it all hooked up, stick it in the water, and see if it works. Y'all ready? Alright, here we go. Alright, my first test was a failure. I had it mounted here. It was about 1 inch away. It would not transmit through that much water. So what I had to do is put them side by side with a stay strap, and now they're talking to each other through within a 1/4 inch of each other, and it's working. I'll show you real quick how it works. It will, normally you couldn't put this under water and hear that quarter right down in there. As you can see now, it works. It is actually transmitting through that wire right there on the back of the coil. Now up top here, let me show you up top here real quick. Same thing, it would not transmit to the side, so I had to actually put them together right here. I used a little stay strap right there. But the advantage is I don't have the little clip on top, and I can just cut that stay strap, pull the top off, not have a problem. Same thing down here on the coil. I can just cut that little stay strap, take the coil off, and leave my connection here like this. I don't have to keep plugging that in and out. One thing I like to do when I plug in for charge, I want to see that little that light coming on. And with that other piece on there, you can't see the light coming on, which I don't like. So anyway, we're going to give this a test under the water now. Let me change the setting so it goes to my headphones, and I'll show you it does work underwater too. Let's check it out. Alright, we got the pod totally submerged there. And now listen. I hope y'all can hear that. It's working, no problem. So it is transmitting between the pod, these two wires are transmitting to, and those transmitted underwater too. So it is working, but not exactly like I want it to, but I don't see wires hanging all over everywhere, that's for sure. I like that. Alright, let's talk about it just for a minute. Alright, well, semi-success anyway. I can now, I don't have the wires all over my coil up and down now. I made my own lengths, so it's not a bunch of extra in it like it comes with the manufacturer. But, and I can actually cut the stay strap off, take the coil off, no problem. Same thing up top. I would have to pull it out if I want to take the shaft out. But anyway, kind of eliminate some of that wire, which I like. But anyway, I'm going to test this out for a few weeks, see how it does. If it does good, I'll report back. Hopefully maybe this will give somebody else some brainstorming ideas to come up with a better way to get rid of some of this wire wrapped all around this shaft. I don't like it, and I'm going to fix it one way or another. We're going to get it straight. But so far this is working. It's actually transmitting 3 times versus 1 time from the coil to that wire, from that wire to the other wire going to the pod, and then the pod into the wire from that into the pod. So before you transfer 1 time, well, from the coil inside that wire, and then from the inside that wire into the pod. But I'm underwater a lot. My coil was totally underwater. I mean, my pod was totally underwater the other day. So you have to have the headphones, and you have to be able to get that transfer of data from the coil to the pod. You got to do it. All right, let me check it out for a few weeks, and I'll report back to see how it does. So far, it's working. All right, appreciate everybody coming on. Don't forget to click like, comment below, share. Subscribe to the Gigmaster. We're going to get this Deus figured out. It's going to be a #1 machine before we're done. All right, stay tuned.